Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Bharat D365. So today let's try to explore collection letter. Collection letter, also called as dunning letter, it will help the client to send the reminder emails for payment to the customer by generating collection letter. So let's explore the setup and how system functions with regard to generating collection letter. So as we understand here with collection letter setup, first, we need to go for parameters, credit and collection parameter, then set up the collection letter sequence, and then we can link the sequence to customer posting profile. So let's start the setup. Go to modules, credit and collection, setup. Under setup, we go to credit and collection parameters. Now, under credit and collection, the first thing to note is update collection letter code. By default, it's posting and we'll keep it at posting. So when a collection letter is posted, that's when the collection letter code gets updated at the customer transaction, which I will show when I show the transactions. The other important thing to notice is the collection letter per either based on customer or at the transaction level. Ideally, let's try to keep it at customer, so each customer is just going to get one reminder letter instead of receiving multiple letters based on the transaction. So that's the default. That's the first thing to notice at the parameters. Then we go for collection letter sequence. So go back to modules, credit and collection, collection letter, set up collection letter sequence. Collection letter sequence is a key things to understand when implementing the collection letter, because when we run collection letter, system will run based on the collection letter code and based on sequential order. So let's understand more once we create the collection letter. Click new. You can give any name you want, let's say collection, description as collection letter. Now, another thing of a description is to notice on the terms of payment. So this is another field, very important field to understand. If we don't assign any terms of payment here, then system is going to pick the terms of payment from customer master. So this depends whether the client really need terms of payment or not. So I'm going to assign net 5 days as a terms of payment, and I'll explain how this is going to impact my collection letter sequence while generating. Right? So let's start with our collection letter code. So there are default collection letter code that's available. Starting from 1, we can generate or assign multiple codes. So let's start with collection letter 1. Description, first reminder. You can add whatever description you want. So first reminder. Now let's come to this currency main account part a little later. So let's go back to the minimum overdue balance. If you want to send the collection letter only for invoices that has a certain balance or above a certain balance, then you can update that particular amount here. Example, let's say I enter here 500 euros. So any invoice that is less than 500 euros would not be considered for generating collection letter. So right now I'm going to leave at 0. So all the invoices based on the other criteria should be picked up. Then this is the days. This is the most important field. So when do you want to start generating collection letter after the invoice becomes due? For example, let's say day 1. So I want, when I run my collection letter, if there are any invoices that is due more than 1 day, should be picked for collection letter. So I will assign as 1. Now let's add more collection letter codes. So after 1, I will go for collection letter 2. Now the description, I'll say second reminder. Now here, let's try to add more. So we have 3 additional fields: currency, main account, and what is the fee in currency. So what is this does is, when we generate collection letter, now in an ideal world, let's say you have the collection agent who does this on behalf of the customer or the client. So they would need to get paid certain amount, right? So we include some commission from the customers since they have not made the payment on time. In that case, I can assign those amount here. For example, let's say if I'm generating collection letter 2, now I also need to add, let's say 5 euros as the commission. So I will enter the amount here, and then you need to add the currency. In this case, let's say I'm adding USD. So $5 would be added on top of the invoice balance that's there. So customer is going to make me this additional payment. Since customer is going to pay me the additional amount that I've entered here, system is going to post one accounting entry. So in this case, it will be customer gets debited and the income account gets credited because it's an income for me, right? So that income account should be added here. For example, I'm going to select here the collection fee account. So this collection fee account, system is going to use and post the accounting entry for this, right? And then the other setups remain same, minimum overdue balance, which I'll keep it as 0. And here, let's say I'll select as 2. This is invoice due plus 2 days where I need collection letter 2. Let's add one more collection letter. So I'm going to select collection letter 3, which I'll call it as third reminder. Now I'm going to enter the days as 3 days. Okay, so the other two fields which I have not covered, one is the item tax group. In case for collection letter, especially when you have the fees, if you want to post the tax, then you can include the item sales tax group here, or the item tax group. Block, this is an interesting feature. After 3 reminders, let's say customer still doesn't make any payment, then I'm going to block that particular customer, and that's when this block comes into picture, right? So that's what the collection letter codes does. Now there is another section, note. So this will be useful. Let's say whenever I send a collection letter, I want to include bank information, right? So those information I'm just randomly adding here. So this information can be printed in the collection letter PDF that we're gonna generate. So that notes can be added here. Now let's click save. So that's how we set up collection letter sequence. Once the collection letter sequence setup is completed, now let's go for linking this to customer posting profile. So I can go from AR module or go to credit and collection, customers, setup, and then you go to customer posting profile. So in the customer posting profile, I have to set up or link my collection letter sequence. So this is useful. Let's say I have one group for advance and another general customer posting profile. Now for advance, obviously I don't want to generate any collection letter, right? So I can ignore that posting profile, and I'm going to include only the collection posting profile for general customer. Now within that, if I have multiple groups, let's say I have domestic group, foreign group, then I want to generate a separate collection letter for domestic, a separate for foreign. For example, for domestic, I need to generate within 1 day, 2 day and 3 day, whereas for foreign customers I need to give additional days. Then I can create a different collection letter sequence, and that can be assigned to group. So that's why this is an important setup to understand. So now for our understanding, I have created a domestic group. So for this group, I'm going to assign collection letter sequence which we just created. So let's go to this drop down. I created this collection. I'm going to assign that and make sure collection letter is set to yes, and then click save. So it's a very simple setup, right? So just 3 setups that we did: the sequence, the parameter that you link, and then the customer posting profile that you go and link the sequence. So once this setup are completed, now let's understand how the system is going to generate collection letter, and that's where the tricky part comes into picture. So in this case, I have created like collection letter 1, 2, 3 as a sequence, and for collection letter 1 it's 1 day, for 2 it's 2 days, for 3 again I think let's make it as 2 days itself. I'm going to keep it 2. Now let's also understand how the dates is going to work. So I have 3 invoices with different due date. So invoice A 17th August, invoice B 24th August and 31st August, right? Now let's understand with an example. Okay. Now I want to run my collection letter, and let's say I will run on weekly basis. It can be weekly basis, daily basis. So I have taken weekly as an example. So I'm going to run on every Monday, which start in 18th August, right? Now these are the different invoices that I have with due dates. So I have also taken future dates just for understanding purpose. Okay. Now when you run, so here is where it's important. When I say sequence, right? When I run for the first time, system is going to run for collection letter 1. It is not going to look 2 and 3, right? When I run one time, it's not that it's looking for both all three, 1 2 3. No, it is going to look for collection letter 1. Now as per collection letter 1, any invoice that is due more than 1 day, right, that is going to be picked for collection letter 1. Now in my example where I have these 3 different invoices, when I run on 18th August, so now let's go back to system just to make sure our setup collection letter sequence. So we can see here for collection letter 1, minimum due is 1 day. Let me also show the transactions for the customer which I have already created. So let me take open transaction. So these are the 3 different transactions. You can check the due date. Okay, and another important thing to add is the valid collection letter code. Remember, as per the parameter, this gets updated only when collection letter is posted. So let's keep this as it is. Now let's go and generate, let me just duplicate the screen and generate our collection letter. So to generate collection letter, go to credit and collection and then go to collection letter. Here we have create collection letter. So let's click on create collection letter. Now when I'm generating creation of collection letter, I can include invoice by default, that's there. If you want to run collection letter for credit note or for payment transaction, that's when you can make this as yes. Mostly it's not required, so by default it will be no. And also there is a concept called interest. On the collection letter we can charge interest, not the collection fee which I have created. This is they're charging the interest notes. So if that is there, I can generate collection letter for interest note as well, right? Now I'm going to run my collection letter on 18th August. Now you have use posting profile from account and select. Select means you can select a posting profile. Account means by default the posting profile that map with that customer would be picked. So let's leave that at the account. And now I can run for all customers or I can run for specific customers. So let's take this customer which I have just created for this demo and run only for this particular customer. So click filter. Let me select this customer account and click OK. So I'm running for a specific customer and click OK. So this will generate the collection letter. So once the collection letter generated, there's a notification. It says collection letter creation process is complete. So now to check the collection letter, go to modules, credit and collection, collection letter. Under that, let's go review and process collection letters. So this is where it has created. Now let's click on this collection letter. So here, as per our understanding, okay, let's put it here. When I run on 18th August, system is going to look only collection letter 1. 2 and 3 is out of equation. For collection letter 1, if I look at these invoices, 24 and 31st is future, so not part of it. 17th August, which was the first invoice that was due, and on 18th it is overdue by 1 day. So collection letter 1 would be generated for A, right? For B and C there's nothing. So as per here, if I come back, the invoice that was due on 18th or 17th August, it is picked collection letter 1. So this is how system is going to pick it. Now I can post or I can even go to print and generate collection letter note and look at the PDF copy. So let's post, and once the collection letter is posted, this is going to reflect the code in the customer transaction. For posting date, let's use the running date as my posting date and then click OK. So this will post the collection letter. So once the collection letter is posted, let's go to customer transaction, just refresh. Observe this collection letter code. it is updated for the invoice which we just posted, right? Now let's go to the Excel sheet. So this is where things get little tricky or complicated. So let's try to understand this. Now I am going to run my collection letter, the second one, on 24th August. So when I run on 24th August, now I am running this for the second time. So my system is now going to look for collection letter 2 and also collection letter 1, because 1 is already posted. So it is not going to look at collection letter 3. So 2 will be the first preferred. It will also consider collection letter 1. Let's understand with the same example. Now we are running on 25th August. So for collection letter 2, there should be collection letter 1 already posted for invoice. So for A, collection letter 1 was already posted. So only this is eligible for collection letter 2. Now as per my condition, if you see here, previous run date plus 2 days. So previous run, that is the first run, was done on 18th August. Okay. Now this is where terms of payment comes into picture. So system is going to add plus 5 days for this particular due date. So 18th was the run date plus 5 days. So if you add 18 plus 5, it will become 24. So let's just calculate that. 18th is when I'm going to run, or the due, plus you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think 23rd is the new due date for this particular invoice, right? Now to 23rd, and when I run on 25th, so that is 2 days. So the new due date, let's put here. It's little tricky to understand. So for 17th August, it has a new due date because collection letter 1 was printed for this. The new due date is 23 as per the calculation we just did. Now for 23, the due date. Now for collection letter 2, it is 2 days, due date plus 2 days. 23 is the due date plus 2 days if you add, that is 25th. So when I run on 25th August, collection letter 2 would be printed for invoice A. Now collection letter 1, that is invoice plus 1 day. So for B, invoice due date is 24th plus 1 day, that is 25th. When I run on 25th, collection letter 1 will be generated for invoice B, right? So it gets little tricky as I explained, but let's see this in the system. Now let's go and create our collection letter. So here let's yeah, it's posted. So now let's go to create collection letter, and let's assume we are on 25th August. So I'm going to select 25th August, click OK. As we understood, 2 collection letters should be included, 1 for B and 1 for A. So now let's explore the notification it has created. So let's go to review and process collection letter. This is the second one, which is on 25th, and here I can see collection letter 1 is printed for the first invoice, that is the invoice that is due on 24th, and collection letter 2 is printed for the invoice that is due on 17th August. See, and now if I go to customer transaction, refresh, collection letter 2. Okay, sorry, before this we need to post the transaction. So let's post this, and once posted, again I'm going to use run date as the posting date and click OK. So now this is going to post and my collection letter code is going to get updated. So now we can see collection letter is updated. So this is, let's go to open, yeah, collection letter 2 and collection letter 1. Now if you notice, there is an additional line that system has created. So this is for the setup that we did where we have added main account. So now if I go to this customer transaction and click on the voucher, so we will see an accounting entry where collection fee is credited and my customer is debited. So it's automatic entry posted by system when you include a main account here for the fee that is going to be charged. Okay, now let's go and generate the next collection letter. So before that, now let's understand. Now the next collection letter I'm going to run on 1st September. Now system is going to look at collection letter 3 because I am running for the third time. So at this stage, for collection letter 3, the criteria is collection letter 2 should already be posted. So for invoice A, collection letter 2 is already posted. When it was posted? It was posted on 24th August, right? Or 25th, sorry. And then terms of payment is 5. So 25 plus 5 is 30. And then you add plus 2 days. So that becomes 1st September. So now, as per this, when I run on 1st September, collection letter 3 will be printed for my invoice A, and then it will also consider this too, because now I'm running for collection letter 3. So 1 and 2 automatically will come into picture. So for collection letter 2, 1 should already be posted. For B, it is already posted. So here you will get collection letter 2 for B. And for C, that is on due on 31st August, this is going to be picked for collection letter 1. So when you run for the third time, you can now see there are collection letter 1, 2, 3. So let's post in the system. So let's go and create a new collection letter. So date 1st of September, and let's click OK. Okay, now let's go review and process collection letter. So this is run on 1st of September. Let's click on this, and now I can see there are 4. That's because the additional line of $5 commission is also included. So you can see now there is collection letter 1, collection letter 2, and collection letter 3. So this is how collection letter processes works. So when I say collection letter sequence, it is not that the invoice sequence. When you run for the first time, it is always looking for collection letter 1. When you run second time, collection letter 2 plus the previous one, which is collection letter 1. When I run for the third time, collection letter 3 plus 1 and 2. Now, since I just have 3 collection letters, when I run next time, it is going to pick collection letter 1, and then again second time 2 and third time 3. So this is how collection letter sequence works in D365 F&O. That's it for today's video. Thanks everyone.